What's going on, my friends? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody made it through the Christmas season okay. What were some really awesome Christmas gifts you guys got this year? What was your big gift? Let me know in the comments below. My big Christmas gift this year were 2 tickets to see the Tampa Bay Lightning play hockey against the Los Angeles Kings on January the 28th, 6 days after my birthday. I'm so excited. If you happen to be at the game here in Tampa, come and find me. Say, hey, I will buy you a beer or some food, whatever. We'll hang out and have a great old time. Anyways, I'm going to dedicate this video to some complaints I have about TikTok videos, actually. TikTok is where I became big. I've got like 119, 120,000, somewhere around there followers. But the big videos that get the most traction and the most views and the most attention on TikTok are the ones that talk about the best panty dropping fragrances, or 5 fragrances that will get a woman's attention, whatever it is. And they always talk about the same old fragrances. You hear about them time and time and time again. And I figure it's just time to go through the most popular fragrances that you see on TikTok and just give my God's honest review of them. I warn you that this video, you're not going to see anything that you have not seen before on a billion other pages, but I'm going to give you my unfiltered, straight up opinion on these. And if I do not like them, I'm going to give you some good alternatives, okay? And just because these are really popular, it doesn't mean that they're not good. And I'm even going to go through one niche. It does get talked about a lot, but I'm going to tell you, this niche, you need to get it. I'll just go ahead and put it out there. So let's stop talking. Roll the tape. First up on this list, my friends, we have one of the best-selling blue fragrances on the market. And remember, blue fragrances denote scents that are incredibly versatile. You can use day, night, hot weather, cold weather, any occasion. And I can see why. Okay, you ask anybody that collects fragrances, they probably have this in their collection. This is Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. And according to people on TikTok, this does everything from turning heads to getting women to fawn over you and everything in between. But really, how can you not like this fragrance? It's super approachable. It's super safe to wear. It's got some really fresh top notes like grapefruit, lemon, bergamot, even some mint in there. And then once you get into the heart notes and the base notes here, you've got things like ginger, some nutmeg, incense, amber, cedar, sandalwood, amongst other things. They just makes it smell like you just walked out of the shower. You know, that shower gel type of vibe there. But is this the best blue fragrance on the market? In my opinion, it's not. It's definitely good. Okay, it lasts a long time. It projects really well. And people like it, okay, but it lacks something to be desired. It doesn't draw people in quite as much as some other ones, and I think there is at least 1 or 2 out there that do a little bit better than Bleu de Chanel. My go-to when it comes to blue fragrances is YSL Eau de Parfum. I've talked about this one a whole lot on this channel. And I even did early on some of the best blue fragrances. This was my favorite blue fragrance and still is to this day my favorite blue fragrance, YSL. This one introduces a little more sweetness to it, loses some of the woodiness on the bottom, and then adds a little sweet touch on the top and just makes it a little bit more approachable. Same longevity, same projection. I think it's still got the same versatility even. But this one's a little bit cheaper than the Bleu de Chanel. So, you know, decide how you will. The Bleu de Chanel, more popular than this one, but I think this one does smell a little bit better. Next up, fragrance number 2, one of the most hated fragrances on TikTok today. And I will be honest, I gave it a lot of hate too, because everybody says it smells like an ex-boyfriend. It smells like a douchebag and everything. But I had to stay true to myself, and tell you that I came around and now I really do still enjoy this one. I understand if you don't, it's okay, but I will still stand by this fragrance. It is Dior Savage Eau de Toilette. And the Eau de Parfum, the Parfum, and the Elixir, all great fragrances as well. But, you know, one reason why it's so hated is because it smells really synthetic. It's very heavy with the ambroxan, which is a synthetic compound that just kind of gives it this spicy feel to it. You know, it starts off with some pepper and some bergamot. It's got some lavender in there, a little vetiver in the heart notes, but the main notes down bottom are some cedar and ambroxan. And like I said, that ambroxan is big here. But it's a very synthetic smell that is wildly popular. And the combination of notes, it is douchebag, okay? You smell very confident. It is very attention grabbing. A little goes a long way. 2 sprays, 3 sprays, and you are going to project massively with this one. But I think it does really well. And I really do enjoy this. Now, if you're not too keen on Savage, okay, I would give, you know, I myself would give this about a 7.5 to 8 out of 10. But if you're not keen to go with Savage and you want something that's a little bit more affordable and refined, you can go for the Prada Luna Rosa Carbon. Whereas this fragrance right here is spiced with pepper. The Luna Rosa Carbon is more spiced with patchouli, and it's also got a nice hit of lavender in there, giving it that professional feel. But you can still wear it in the same occasions as the Dior Savage, and even more so with the formal setting and less douchebag type feel. You've got the F Black by Salvatore Ferragamo. Same scent profile, but this one is more powdery and more more brought together with lavender. Okay, you lose a lot of the spiciness and you got the lavender and some powdery scents. This one is much more black tie formal. Okay, but there's your options. I still like Dior Savage. Sorry, I like it. Moving right down our list for insanely popular fragrance number 3. It is the king of clubbing fragrances, as a lot of people call it, the Versace Eros Eau de Toilette. And they have released a few flankers, the Eau de Parfum, the Le Parfum. I have smelled them. I don't own them, but I haven't jumped at the opportunity to try to buy these. I don't know why. It's just they don't have quite as much of separation in styles as I would like. Now the Eros Flame I like better than all of these, but we do have to talk about this one because this one is the most popular. It was made popular with its amazing combination of vanilla, apple, and mint. Such a great combination of notes there that make this wildly popular for everything from dates to wearing to school if you're like in high school, to wearing to the club especially. But is it worth the hype? I would say meh. It smells good, okay? It's dated though. It's been around for a little bit too long and it needs a bit of a facelift. So to give it a facelift, one of the more recent releases in the last couple of years from the house of Azzaro, I would recommend this one instead. Azzaro, the Most Wanted, the big black bottle. Gotta be careful there, right? The big black bottle. This is a very straightforward fragrance. Cardamom, toffee, and amberwood. It's sweet, it is crisp, and it is attention grabbing. I think this one is the better version of Eros today. It doesn't have that kind of chili mint that you would find in the Eros, but it is sweet, it is attention grabbing, and all around really nice. So I would recommend this one. I give this about an 8. I give this about a 6.5 overall. So go with this one instead of this one, in my humble opinion. Next up for fragrance number 4, I think it's time to put out our lone niche scent of this list. And let me also preface this by saying that I rank this fragrance as a 10 out of 10. I will not be giving you an alternative because this fragrance is fire. It is Parfums de Marly Layton. Now, you may be asking yourselves, why didn't you put out something like Creed Aventis? Well, number one, I don't own Creed Aventis myself. I only talk about fragrances on this channel that I own myself. But, you know, a thing about Parfums de Marly as of the last couple of years is that they have become wildly popular amongst fragrance collectors. So much so that it's almost like they've lost their luster as being an exclusive brand. You know what I'm saying? Now, that does not mean that they are not niche quality. Quite the contrary. These guys produce niche quality fragrances. They smell absolutely amazing. They perform very well. They've just become very mainstream as far as niche fragrances go. You know, let me know your thoughts in the comments if you disagree or you agree on what that is. But anyways, Layton, stellar fragrance and probably one of my favorites from that line or that house. You've got some top notes of apple, lavender, some mandarin orange and bergamot, and then you've got some vanilla, cardamom, sandalwood around the bottom. It smells absolutely stunning. If you were to purchase your first niche fragrance, I think it should be this one. It is easy to blind buy. It lasts 10 hours on 2 sprays. It projects like a beast. There is nothing negative that I can say about this scent. I 100% love this fragrance, and I think you will too. Buy a bottle of Parfums de Marly Layton. Speaking of Creed Aventis, we're going on to fragrance number 5, and it is a fragrance that regularly gets compared to Creed Aventis, at least on TikTok where I spend most of my time. However, I feel that there are enough differences between the two fragrances for this one to stand on its own 2 feet and not have to be considered a dupe, clone, or inspired by. I am talking about Mont Blanc Explorer. Now, Creed Aventis is known for having the sweet citrusy opening of blackcurrant and pineapple before it gets into the woody dry down of birch. This one does have the citrusy opening, but it's more of a bitter lime, which is bergamot. That's what bergamot is, like a really bitter lime. But as it dries down, you get some Haitian vetiver, you get some ambroxan, some akigala wood, and patchouli. So the differences in the notes make this one a lot less sweet and more spicy, and the woodiness and earthiness are pronounced a lot more in this one. So the Creed Aventis, like I said, I know I don't own the Creed Aventis personally, but I have smelled it a lot. I have a couple of friends that regularly wear it, and I do get whiffs of it and even spray it from the bottles enough to know what I'm talking about, okay? But as far as this fragrance goes, it is, with its less sweet tones, I got a lot more of a formal office vibe from this one. It is very, very safe to wear to the office, in my opinion. I think it exudes a little more maturity than something like the Creed Aventis does. So it's a really, really good option to go with. If you are looking for some type of an alternative, I would give this about an 8 to an 8.5. I think it's a really solid fragrance. But if you want an alternative, I would go with the Creed Aventis clone, which is Club de Nuit. There it is. Club de Nuit Intense Man. I lost my little dangly thing on there. Club de Nuit Intense Man is the most popular of the Creed Aventis clones. And this is going to be the one where you do find that sweeter top note. And it is 1/10 of the price, man. Now, I have heard that some of the more recent formulations of Creed Aventis are lasting longer than they used to. But from the batches of Aventis that I have smelled, the fragrance goes away after 5.5 hours. It does not warrant that $350 price tag, okay? But you got the Club de Nuit Intense Man if you want some alternative to Creed Aventis or Mont Blanc Explorer. There you go. Next up for fragrance number 6, we're going to go back to a clubbing scent that was released with a lot of hype back in the mid-90s, and even today it's still one of the more popular fragrances from this particular line. It is the Paco Rabanne 1 Million, the OG. This one right here, it smells good, okay? I think it is overdone. It's not my favorite one in the world, okay? I'll just go ahead and give the rating off of this. I give this one a 6, a 5.5 to a 6. because it is a very polarizing scent, okay? It's got some really strong fruity top notes of some grapefruit and mandarin orange, even a little bit of mint in there, but it really hits hard with some spicy notes like cinnamon, and then some amber, some leather, and I think even a little bit of patchouli down there, giving it even more spice. You cannot miss the spice in this fragrance, okay? But like I said, people eat this fragrance up even today. And there are a number of good fragrances or flankers out there. The 1 Million Lucky is really good. My favorite, which was discontinued, was the 1 Million Privé. I absolutely love it. And today, one of the more popular recent releases is the Elixir. But I think this one, even though it's still popular today, is quite a bit overplayed. And I think there is a much better alternative to Paco Rabanne 1 Million, and that is Viktor & Rolf Spice Bomb Extreme. Spice Bomb Extreme. This is everything that Paco Rabanne 1 Million should be. It's fruity on the top, with a little bit of spice like some pink pepper, and some saffron as well. But in the heart, this is where it gets really crazy. It's got some cinnamon and red pepper, actual red pepper like you would eat in food, you know? That gives it a really nice spice. But the dry down, oh my word, the dry down is beautiful. On the base note, you've got benzoin and tobacco, a great combination of scents that after that spice dries down, you just smell really sophisticated and really, really suave. I prefer this one. This one's going to be a little bit more expensive than the Paco Rabanne 1 Million, but it lasts a little bit longer. It projects just the same. You're going to be way more unique than the guys that wear 1 Million if you wear Spice Bomb Infrared. So definitely take this one over the Paco Rabanne. I give this one about an 8 to an 8.5. Last fragrance on this list, it was a major hyped fragrance for a long time, and I don't care what anybody says, I myself love this scent. I think it is the best one from this particular line. It is Giorgio Armani's Aqua di Gio Profumo, not the Profundo, not the Profundo Lights, not that Absolute that nobody talks about. This is the Profumo. I freaking love this scent. The original DNA, the original Aqua di Gio, released back in the 90s, ended up being one of the most popular fragrances ever sold. And it was good, okay? It was really good. It was aquatic, it was fresh, it was bright, but this one adds a bit of a touch of incense in the base note. The top notes you're gonna find are C notes and bergamot with a couple of green notes scattered in there like sage, geranium, and rosemary. But on the bottom, this is where I really, really love it. It's got some incense and patchouli. Absolutely fantastic. And it is that added note of incense that brings about this mature vibe that is lost in the other fragrances, like the Profundo. That's a more youthful type of fragrance. The Profundo Lights, that is also a more youthful type of fragrance. But this one is just suave, man. Very, very safe for the office. Very, very safe for formal occasions. If you're going out for a casual day or whatever, you can absolutely get what you need out of this bottle. It really works well to highlight a mature personality. Not saying that somebody that's in their early mid-20s can't wear this. You absolutely can. But once you get in your early, mid, late 30s and into your 40s, there's just a part of your personality that this fragrance really starts to highlight. You know, when a man has become a real man. You know, that's the best way I know to describe it. But all I know, I love this fragrance so much. I'm not gonna give an alternate or whatever. Aqua di Gio Profumo, it's the way to go. So what do you guys think in the long run about these popular fragrances? They are seen everywhere, and to me, it seems like no matter how much you think that they're gonna just phase out and just kind of become one of those long lost memories or whatever, they hang around, they are still popular, and they refuse to die. Some of them I really like. What do you think about these fragrances? Let me know in the comments below. Let's talk a little bit. In the meantime, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this video. Don't forget, in the description to this video, I leave a link where you can purchase all of the fragrances listed in the video. Most of them will be from an affiliate link, but if I find a cheaper price somewhere else, I'll list it. I guarantee you that. I hope everybody has a great day. Be sure to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And also find me on my other social media channels. Let's have some conversations. Let's talk. Let's get to know each other, because at the end of the day, I'm here for you guys. I love y'all. We'll see you next time.